Alaska, Alaskan Carnivore, and today we're just going to be talking a little bit about what I'm planning on doing this week. Now, last week I was in last week's video, this weekend's update, I was talking about priming and stuff like that. Now, I don't know the full details as to how to prime correctly, so I can't really give people that kind of information because I'm just experimenting with it myself. And from what I gather, it's, we're basically, I'm just stuffing my gut with a bunch of meats and fats. And last week I was extremely strict. I was extremely strict. It was all, uh, meats and fats for the entirety of the priming process. And hopefully that's going to set me up for what I'm starting today, which is a fasting process. And I'm probably going to carry that on until the weekend and see if I have any additional weight loss, because that's 90% of what I do here on YouTube is I discuss weight loss strategies, fasting practices, different types of fasting and all that. Now, another thing I wanted to do today was talk a little bit about my video analytics and stuff like that, because this is stuff that I've been doing for a while. And not everybody knows the inside details as to what a YouTube or content creator actually has to go through. But this is all relevant to the channel. And I did find today that I have an option available for a live subscriber count, which is something I'm really not used to seeing, as I really don't know how to do all this stuff. I got on YouTube originally just to help my son, and I thought he wanted to be a YouTuber at one point, and I found out he realized that it's a lot of work, and I don't think he actually wants to go that route. But here I am on YouTube sharing my weight loss experience and stuff like that. And so far, I started at 435 pounds, and I didn't really expect to get this far with the weight loss journey, because all of my life I've been struggling um, in every aspect of trying to lose weight, trying to maintain health, and also trying to enjoy my life. So it was incredibly frustrating all the way up until now. And I'm finally starting to get a handle on this stuff. Let's see, 43 weeks ago. Yeah, I was 435 pounds 43 weeks ago. And I've managed to maintain a weight loss of over 120 pounds, with a series of fasting and a series of different types of eating strategies, um, anywhere from ketovore to carnivore type eating. And I used to be like everybody else out there in the universe, where I just thought I just had to exercise. I just had to, and exercise is important. Don't get me wrong there. It's extremely important. And more exercise would definitely improve what I got going on now. But I always thought just eat a salad, for instance, just, skip out on all the stuff and just be miserable and eat a salad. That doesn't work. And then I tried all these other, products and health products, and I bought into it all. I spent thousands, thousands of dollars on nonsense products that didn't do anything. Half the time it was like a powder or something like that, and I wound up throwing it away because I didn't find any benefit in using it. So I'm really not into pushing health products and stuff like that. Fasting is the best. Thank you there, Cybermate Attack. I appreciate you. But I did want to go over some things on the YouTube channel itself today, and show you a little bit about what I'm learning and what I'm getting used to, because I'm just a truck driver. I'm not a YouTube anything. I just happen to be losing some weight and talking about a lot of topics that people can relate to, and I thought my journey was uh, something worth sharing with people, because I managed to lose my first 30 pounds with a 5-day water fast. And that was, 435 pounds down to 405 in 5 days. That was great. I mean, it was all water weight, but it's something anybody can do. I mean, if you're morbidly obese, you're suffering, you need a little bit of hope or inspiration, please subscribe to the channel, because this is the stuff that I try to focus on, is those people that are having a hard time, just like me. And I still struggle. I have my ups and downs even in this weight loss journey, and I do post videos every single weekend. And I try to get extra live streams in throughout the week and post some short form videos throughout the week as well when I have time, because I have to do all of this. And then I also have to do my normal work schedule, which is go to work like any other human being. Not everybody out here on YouTube is, just specifically YouTube 100% of the time. And this is how we afford to live, because really this doesn't provide me much as far as monetary value until I figure out some other ways of trying to make money on YouTube. And who knows, someday I could potentially be a full-time YouTuber, but right now it's not the time. And I've only been doing this for about a year, and I do have monetization set up on the channel, so I am making a little bit, but that really doesn't cover a whole lot of anything. And that's a little bit of the stuff I wanted to share with you guys today. So we're going to get you all set up here on the tripod, and we're going to get this thing flipped around, and we're going to talk about what's going on here. So now we got you somewhat stable. Hopefully you're not getting seasick while I'm doing this. And of course, my buttons don't always want to work correctly. But all right, this is just a basic view of our YouTube channel here. And it talks about how many views we have right up here. And now there's a feature over here. Now, if I go down here to the analytics button, I have a see live count right over here. And this actually puts me up to an active live subscriber count. So if you were to subscribe right now or unsubscribe, it takes about 3 to 6 seconds on my end to actually see the subscriber count go up and down. And we do, oh, there we go. Thank you very much. But we are so very close to our milestone of hitting 3,000 subscribers this week. And this is what, you know, I wanted to talk a little bit about. If I don't get there today, that's just fine. I only have approximately about an hour and a half to do this live stream, but I just thought this was pretty cool because if you can just sit here and you can watch the numbers go up and down, and it's very frustrating when the numbers go down because it kind of breaks your heart. And I honestly don't want anybody to subscribe to the channel that's really not interested in health or losing weight or anything like that. If you're interested in random Alaskan topics that I like to post once in a while, that's fantastic. But I like to have people that are active in my videos. They go into the comment sections. We can talk back and forth because I spend hours upon hours after, you know, creating a halfway decent video and then responding to all the comments that come in, because I actually enjoy this part of you know, YouTube content creation. It's so freaking amazing. Thank you, Ashlyn. I appreciate that. And I saw the numbers jump there. That's super cool. We're going to come back to this. I did want to go over some other stuff that you guys could see and also what we've been doing. Oh, very nice. Thank you. We're getting closer, guys. Like I said, I'm trying to get up over 3,000 subs this week, and it's one of my basic milestones. And as I go, there's always another milestone to get to, but I really like active subscribers as much as possible. People that I can talk to, people that want to ask me questions, because yeah, I'm going to respond to you guys. And this is kind of what I do. I just try to be out there in the public. But this here is just the page of where all of our videos are at. And I do have several playlists available that really don't get a whole lot of traction. So right now, the most interesting topics I have are, you know, carnivore struggle bus, for instance. This is my most recent video that I've uploaded. People did seem to watch it pretty good. And I'm not the kind of guy that gets 20,000, 30,000 views on every single video I upload. So I just try to be realistic. And if I don't get a lot of views, you know what that means? It usually means I did something wrong. So it says here, and this is just like an overview. It's not an accurate count right here. This 2,891. Now that's not the live stream there, but okay, estimated revenue. So this is $75. Now that's not even what I make in a week. So overall, like even after I uploaded this video and it got 3,000 views, realistically what I make as far as ad revenue, which is just the little ads, the skippable ads you guys see, you know, when you click on a video, I'm making about $2 a day. $2 a day is typically what I'm making, and which is great. I mean, it's not something to frown upon, especially, and it says 62, 65. Like I said, these numbers are just average type things, and it's just, you know, whatever. I'm not too worried about that, but it's just frustrating when you think that when you're starting to get involved in this content creation type of stuff, because this laptop This costs $700-800, and then you're looking at all this other stuff. You got to buy a mouse. There's $40 to $70 there, and then you're buying microphones, cameras, and all kinds of stuff to try to do this the best you can. And it's just, yeah, it's like, wow, there's a lot of money being spent here, and there's not a whole lot of money in return. But the longer we do this, hopefully, within time, we might actually improve some stuff here. But, so anyways, yeah, like I said, we're just doing basic, carnivore weight loss type discussions. And, whatever money we make in the process is fantastic, because I do have to live a normal life. I do have to, pay the bills. YouTube does not pay the bills, and I'm not sure how other people are figuring out how to make it pay the bills. Now, another thing that I had for an announcement this week is I do have a P.O. box finally attached to the channel. So there'll be a P.O. box attached to our channel for anybody that wants to send us a postcard. And I promote, people sending us a postcard. If you're anywhere around the country, you want to send us a postcard, just click on my channel. You can go to the description of the channel and you can find that P.O. box. And now that's an additional cost too, because we had to set up a P.O. box because people were wanting to send us items or, random stuff or even products to review on the channel at times. So, and I haven't really had anything come to fruition yet, because a lot of that stuff is spam and it's nonsense and it's just a bunch of fake deals. But, and they're just trying to get like your home address and stuff like that. And we didn't want to give out our home address and have, people randomly showing up at the house. So we had to spend about $160 on a P.O. box yesterday, which is another cost to the YouTube channel, which really isn't making us that much money. So we're just doing this for the love of the people, the love of the people that subscribe to the channel, to hopefully stay better connected. And we do like connecting with everybody out there, especially in the carnivore community, because so far the carnivore community has been one of the best communities wrapped around weight loss I have ever been able to find. And like I said, I've done so many different weight loss strategies, just different kind of exercises and stuff like that. I've gotten multiple gym memberships over the years, and we don't go to the gym as often as we'd like, especially if we're busy, if we have to work regular jobs like normal people, and then take care of the kids, and we're chasing children around all week long. Where do you have time to go to a gym? Is that sustainable? Or are you just wasting $200 to $300 a month on a gym membership? And it is a waste if you don't get to the gym. Now, if you're one of those that's young and you don't have a lot of responsibilities, and yeah, by all means, get a gym membership, and you can get there, daily. If you can get there daily, you're getting a little bit of your money's worth. But I wasn't getting my money's worth, because sometimes I'd only be able to get there on a weekend or something like that. And so it got horribly frustrating, spending all that money. And then the money we spend on the gym memberships, like say we have hard times, like I come upon unemployment or something like that, or I might get laid off. It's like, then I got to pay this membership, every month, and I'm getting hosed on the other end. So yeah, it's extremely frustrating. And it is just one of those things that I try to discuss about how we need to be realistic with our weight loss goals and stuff like that. Like me, for instance, if I were to go to a gym right away, I can go now because I've lost over 120 pounds. But when I was first starting to lose weight, and you were just standing there looking at me as a 435-pound man, from an outsider's perspective or a healthy person's perspective, looking at me, you'd look at me and be like, man, you need to go walk more. You need to go run. You need to exercise. You need to do this or that. And I heard all this. I heard it for years. Like, oh, you need to do more of this or more of that. We need to, get you moving more. But when you get up over 350 pounds, up in the 400-pound range, and some of these guys, they're up in 700 something pounds. And I don't even know how they measure that weight accurately, because you have to go to like a hospital or something to get a scale that measures anywhere close to that. But those people aren't moving, and they're stuck in bed. I was almost stuck in bed, and I was scared. I mean, I prayed, I prayed to God at night to take me, because I didn't want to be a burden on my wife and kids. It was hard. It was a hard struggle. And throughout the prayer that I was experiencing at the time, I was just literally laying there in bed praying, hey, God, just take me now. Let me just fall asleep and I won't wake up, and that way I won't be a problem to anybody anymore. And then I got smacked in the face. It was pretty much a smack like, nope, you're not coming. You're not coming this way. We're not taking you back yet. You got stuff to do. And at that very moment, that's when I got up, I got out of bed, and I started researching all kinds of healthy related options. I was also, given this like hindsight of you've lost weight before, and you've done it in many different ways. Start thinking about that. So that got my cogs turning up here, and I was just trying to figure out ways of, okay, what can I do? Because I had a lot of bad relationships over the years. No thanks to me, by the way, because I wasn't the greatest partner. But I learned that, I was losing weight throughout a lot of those stressful breakups and stuff like that. So I just wanted to try to implement, that kind of routine, but in a healthier type way. And fasting was what really got me started. It took me about a month, maybe 2 months to try to figure out, some fasting principles, why fasting works, why people fast in the first place. Because before I started doing fasting or any type of weight loss, I was just like, that is nuts. That's just starving yourself. And well, I found out after doing it for a period of weeks that it's the furthest thing from just starving yourself. Granted, you're not taking in food, but you're giving your body a chance to actually rest. We don't do that enough. We're constantly eating. We're constantly eating dinner, and then we're eating snacks, and then we're eating a second breakfast, second lunch, third breakfast. I mean, then it's just snacking right up until bedtime, and then we usually wake up after that and we eat some more. That was me. I was there. I was the guy having all these horrible issues for so freaking long. And then I got so bad, so morbidly obese that my neck was like this much bigger. It was out to here. And then I started running into other health related issues because of the way I was eating. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't reading ingredients. I wasn't thinking. And that's what tends to happen. And then I became, sleep apnea became a thing. I had to get a CPAP. And I could feel before I even got my CPAP, I was having apneas, and I wasn't sure, because when you're having severe sleep apneas, you're starving your brain, you're starving all your organs of what it needs to survive, which is oxygen. And throughout that process of starving everything in your body, your head included, I wasn't thinking clearly. I wasn't thinking correctly. I was very agitated. When you're extremely morbidly obese, you're extremely hormonal, even though you don't think you are. I didn't think I was. Now that I can look back at it, I was extremely hormonal. I wasn't hormonal towards everybody, but sometimes I would get angry at the silliest things. I'd drop something on the floor and I'd immediately feel defeated because now I got to bend over. And now I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at whatever the object was that fell on the floor. That's the kind of hormonal reactions that happen when you're morbidly obese, and we don't realize it. And my wife brought up a question just the other day, because I'm quite a bit older than my wife. She's a younger lady, and she asked me, she's like, "Do you feel any older?" She's like, "When do you actually feel older?" And spiritually, we never really feel any older than we are, because I still feel like I was when I was 10 years old, spiritually. The only thing that makes us actually older is the amount of wisdom we collect throughout all the years of being on this planet, learning from all the mistakes, learning from all our successes and stuff like that. And that's what really helps us, figure out, our age and stuff like that. But I thought that was incredibly interesting. It was a very great conversation we had there. And I love those types of just weird conversations like that, because I'm getting gray hair. I don't feel, when I'm looking through the camera, I don't feel like I have gray hair. I don't feel like I'm balding. I don't even care that I'm balding or getting wrinkles, because when you look at inside and you look at yourself spiritually, you don't feel any older than you did when you were 12 years old. You just know a little bit more, and hopefully we know a little bit better. And this is also stuff that I'm trying to share, is hopefully just give people hope and realize you don't need to get out and go to the gym. You don't have to eat a ton of salads to lose weight. You can get started with basic fasting principles. My very first fast was a 5-day water fast. I did 5 solid days. My wife thought I was nuts. My entire family thought I was nuts. But I was at the point, where God was pushing me over the limit, like, hey, you have to do this and you have to document your entire weight loss journey and share it with people because you will help somebody important, whoever that is. That person could be you. You never know. Because when I started losing weight and making videos, I couldn't talk. I mean, you'd be sitting there on the other side of the screen being like, who is this guy? And why is he wasting his time? Well, for one thing, we never got good at doing anything without falling down once or twice. I know I fell off my bicycle. I used to ride a skateboard. I used to go snowboarding and skiing. I fell down a lot, but I got really good. It took me a little while, and no different than creating like YouTube content and stuff like that. You do it enough and you stumble, you fall, you get made fun of. And that's just part of it. It's all part of the process. But I'm going to check on these messages here and see who we got in here. We got Melanie White. We are not doing it for weight loss, but our health. We decided to start next week because he is out of town until Sunday. I totally need his support. Now, support is incredibly important when you're doing a weight loss journey, especially if you're a couple. It's helpful if you can do it together. Now, in my case, I'm not forcing all this stuff down my family's throat. I try not to. I do bring it up, and sometimes I do get lectured, hey, you might be belittling or something like that, or you're not talking in the right tone of voice or something. But it's incredibly frustrating that in order to get a weight loss journey started, a serious weight loss journey started, you need about one or two things. The first one is a near-death experience. That usually gets a weight loss journey started. The second one is a diagnosis. You have diabetes. You have cancer. You have this or that. That's where the majority of weight loss journeys start, is right there with the diagnosis. And that's a scary way to get a weight loss journey started. So if you're somebody that's just kind of dabbling with, your health, you're playing Russian roulette when you're going out to eat all this fast food and stuff like that, be careful. Because if I could go backwards in time, I would have avoided a lot of stuff. I would have flipped around a lot of ingredients. I would have paid a lot more attention on health and nutrition. I would have done a lot of self-preservation as far as health and nutrition is concerned, because we got to absolutely take care of ourselves. And when you're young and healthy, you look at a big guy like me, like, I don't need to listen to you because you're figuring it out now and you're almost 50 years old and I'm only 20 years old and I can run a mile in 7 minutes. Well, good. I was that guy too. I said I'd never get fat. I said I'd never be a fat truck driver. Well, guess what? All of the nevers came in time. And that's just how it happens, because it does. It creeps up on you. It takes years and years and years to get up to 435 pounds. It didn't happen in just an instant. So, we just got to be careful with what we're doing. I'll flip you guys around. We're going to take a look at see what's going on the subscriber count, because I do see it's gone up a little bit. And like I said, we're doing this live stream here to, kind of promote the channel in a way, and also try to gain some new subscribers that might be active in the community. People that really do, want somebody to cheer them on, because I cheer on all my viewers, especially the ones that come in, and some of them write pages. It seems like they're writing me a book, and it's really hard to respond to some of that, but I don't want to discourage that, because I enjoy reading through all of everything as far as what people comment. And what you're looking at right now, this is actually a live update. So if somebody subscribes right now, that number will climb or it will go down if you unsubscribe. So if you just want to play games, you can subscribe and unsubscribe, and you can watch it go up or down. It's kind of fun. I mean, I did it myself before I even started the live stream, because a lot of us YouTube creators, we have an additional account. That way we can go look at it third person and see what everybody else is seeing, so we can actually gauge what we're doing online. But all right, we have let's see, Melanie White, he wants to do, all right, let's see. Melanie White said he wants to do this for his health as well. Severe complex sleep apnea, high blood pressure, and depression. Melanie, I do want to say something. This all helps. For me, the carnivore diet helped specifically with inflammation, because you're taking out all this complex seed oils. You're taking out everything that creates inflammation just by eating meat products. So when you remove seed oils, especially soybean, which is one of the nastiest ones, and you're getting rid of the, the breads and the flours and the sugars and stuff like that. And you get your body into a constant state of ketosis, and that really helps things along. I mean, that makes things just work naturally. Now, I do believe a little bit of fasting here and there does help. Eunice Henderson just chimed in and says, proud of your progress so far. I appreciate you, Eunice. And I appreciate everybody that jumps on here and comments and has anything positive to say about one another, because that's really what I promote is positivity. But yeah, if you guys could hit that subscribe button, we are on a mission to try to reach 3,000 subscribers by the end of the live stream. And if we don't, that's okay too. We're just going to work with what we got, and we'll go back and forth with the camera there to, see what happens, if it changes at all. And if we should get up over 3,000 subscribers today, that would be fantastic. I'll do a community tab post about it. Okay, my head's kind of crooked there. I don't know, but yeah, my sleep apnea has improved so much there, Melanie. And that's one thing I did want to talk about. Last week, I did go to a sleep study, and I did not have to use my CPAP for the first time. And I've only been on CPAP for about maybe a year or two. So there is a potential that if you have sleep apnea, that's just restrictive sleep apnea, just from your throat. And it's usually a lot of situational apneas, like how you sleep. Like if you sleep like this and your neck's kinked, you can have situational apneas. But if you got other stuff going on, like your nose, deviated septum, for instance, or that little flap in the back of your throat, sometimes that requires a little bit of surgery. It is fixable. Some of it's fixable. Not everything is fixable. But when I started, I had a problem where my brain wasn't sending a signal down to any part of my body to tell me to breathe. So I was forgetting to breathe. That was so frustrating, because I could be wide awake having this conversation right here, and I'd be like, and then all of a sudden I'd have a panic attack, because now I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack because I got palpitations going on. And then your anxiety flares up and you're just through the roof. You're like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? But that's just all part of being unhealthy. I mean, if we're just going to keep eating our feelings, and that's what I did. I ate my feelings for I don't know how many years. I was just constantly eating because I was happy, sad, glad, some sort of birthday party. There's always a birthday party. When you get up in your 40s and 50s, you got kids. They're just kids everywhere. They're all having birthdays. And every time we have a celebration or a holiday, we eat sugary foods. And so if you have like 15 kids, grandkids, nephews, your own kids, neighbors' kids, how many birthday parties is that in 1 year? How many pieces of cake could that potentially be for each one of us? That's a lot of calories. And then we're going to just trash our diet even more, because after we're done the birthday party, we're going to head to McDonald's with everybody and grab something quick to eat. We're going to eat some McDonald's or whatever fast food items, Taco Bell. What a devastating situation Taco Bell used to do to me. I mean, it was just, why did I keep eating it if it was making me feel sick? And that was another part of the issue, is like, I know what foods make me feel like crap. I know what vegetables make me feel like garbage, but I kept eating them because people said, you got to eat your vegetables. How many years did we listen to that? Now that I'm eating a lot less vegetables, I'm not gassy. I'm not bloated. I'm not potentially pooping my pants or having to plan my day around where the bathrooms are, because I know there's people out there that do that. I was that guy. I wouldn't go on camping trips because it took too far to walk to the bathroom, or, where we were going to set up camp, there was no bathroom. And here in Alaska, we have these things, we call them luggable loos. And it's basically just a bucket, like a Home Depot bucket. And you can go buy a little adapter plate to put on top. It just kind of makes it into a portable, type porta potty. And you put plastic bag liners in it, and you do your business there. You can wrap up the bag, and you can dispose of it later on. But that's just one way we do it here in Alaska. I'm pretty sure other people do it like that other places, but it's just nice to stay up off the ground. And if you're morbidly obese, that's a really small target to hit when your butt's like this wide. It's yeah. And I got so fat that I had to go out and buy those bigger toilets for my personal bathroom. Now, I live in a trailer home, and trailer homes come with these little tiny toilets. They're just the standard toilet. And I can finally use that standard size toilet now. I have that one in my son's room, but I have the elongated bowl in my personal bathroom that I use. And but it's embarrassing to think about that. So trying to use the little standard size, my butt was so big I couldn't fit on that toilet, and it was frustrating, and it's embarrassing. But whatever, it is what it is. Let's see what's going on here. We got Melanie, but he had 2 wrecks back to back 10 months after we finally got a sleep test. He had 42.7 events an hour. As you know, you can't drive a truck unless it's under 5 events. Well, you can drive a truck. My events, Melanie, were over 96, and I was driving a truck, but you need to be currently using a CPAP, and there's a bunch of DOT crap that comes along with it, so it makes it a pain in the butt. And that's why I went and did that sleep study last week, was to hopefully, if I can get that off my license, that's super helpful, because it's just one less stress in my day. I don't have to report to the doctor whenever they're required to update that with DOT or whoever needs to know. And then I don't have to have it on my medical card either, that I'm currently using a CPAP or anything like that. So once that's off of there, I'm still going to use my CPAP because I sleep really well with it. I like it now. I mean, I become accustomed to it. My pressure levels have dropped considerably. So I started out with my CPAP pressure at around 17. Now I'm using an auto setting of, I believe it's 9. So it's 9 to 20, and it never gets up to 10 anymore. So, I mean, everybody, even healthy people, have apnea events every hour of the night while they're sleeping. It's just what happens. A lot of it's just from rolling over, sleeping in the wrong position. That's where a lot of the normal apnea events come from. Then you have the central apnea events, like I was mentioning earlier, where your brain just doesn't tell your body to breathe, and you just happen to stop breathing. And then you might start breathing, and then you wake up in a panic attack, and you don't know why you have to suddenly urinate, but your body is telling you you need to urinate because it's lacking oxygen. That's where I was every 45 minutes. Not necessarily when I was awake, but when I was asleep, every 45 minutes, I was waking up to go pee, and I was peeing out about a gallon. It felt like a gallon. I was on the toilet for a long time. And then my anxiety's flaring up. I'm catching my breath, and I'm still not able to understand that that's the problem. And that was a lot of it. I mean, I thought it was throwing off signals like I had pancreatic cancer. I thought I had pancreatic cancer. I was buying prostate supplements and stuff like that. Colon cancer is what it was, not necessarily pancreatic cancer. I thought I had colon cancer, because if you didn't know that already, colon cancer is on the rise. Well, it's on the rise for a good reason, because of all of the processed junk that we're consuming. I'm not consuming it now, but I was guilty of, that's all I was eating: processed foods, energy drinks, Red Bulls, and stuff like that. So anyhow, let's get back to the live screen of the subscriber count this week. And so far, we've gained 1 subscriber since we started this conversation. I think we gained like a total of 5 subscribers to the channel up to this point. And I want to thank you guys for subscribing. I really do hope you're actually active in the community. You're trying to figure out some better health and stuff like that. Let's see, we got Sean Wellman. He says, I'm a trucker as well. I call that setup my shoe shine kit, and it makes my daughters laugh. Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from there. But now, I'm not an over-the-road truck driver. I do drive trucks up here in Alaska. I used to work for a company called Carlisle Transportation, which is the one that was wrapped around the ice road trucking and stuff like that. And I used to also run up the Dalton Highway to Prudhoe Bay, and I tried to avoid all the cameras while all that stuff was going on, because I thought it was all fake. I thought the whole show was fake. I mean, some of the footage was real, but they just dramatized it to no end. And all right, there we go. Thank you. I appreciate the new subscribers. But like I said, I'm not asking anybody to subscribe that's really not interested in weight loss, Alaskan type topics, or just my random nonsense. I tend to just come on here and do a live stream. You never know what I'm going to do. And the fun part about me is you just don't know what I'm going to say. And that's what really got me to have a hard time with doing live streams, especially when being invited on other people's live streams, because I get invited once in a while. I just have to really watch what I'm going to say, think about what I'm going to say, because before weight loss, I was just a loose cannon. You didn't know. I mean, I could just say the most random, inappropriate things for no reason, but now I know why. I mean, I was doing that stuff because I was literally just a child in my mind. I had no idea that I was so messed up from eating all the crap, garbage food, all the sugar, for instance. Now, I am suffering from a little bit of nail fungus, and I've been working on that this week. So I got some topical formulas that the doctor did prescribe. I will not take the pills because the pills tend to damage your liver. It's like they go straight after your liver. And the last time I tried to take the pills that they prescribed, it hurt. And it hurt my gut pretty bad. So I had to stop taking it after about 3 days. And I was looking for other options and stuff like that. Now, all the stuff you buy, like at Walmart, or you go to Walgreens pharmacy, and you're trying to take care of toenail fungus, just skip that stuff. That stuff really doesn't work all that well. Tea tree oil, and there's other like essential oils and stuff like that people have used and had pretty good success. Now, I was using something similar to a tea tree oil, and it seemed like it was stopping stuff, the fungus from growing. And it's really annoying because it gets up under your nails and it starts pushing up things. And then you got to profile your nails just to make the appearance look a little bit more appealing, because it's an embarrassing thing. And toenail fungus has also kept me from going to swimming pools or, to the lake and doing fun stuff with my kids, that you would normally do without shoes on, because, man, it just gets annoying. Like you walk past a 10-year-old and they look at your foot and they're like, ew, gross. That's nasty. How did that happen? What's wrong with your foot? Yeah. I mean, it's a situation a lot of us suffer from, especially when we get up in our elder years. And like my thumb, for instance, that started at a pretty early age. It got slammed in a couple of car doors. I don't know how many times I hit my thumb with a hammer and lost a nail. And then I damaged the nail bed so bad that it's got like a bunch of other spots that are just actually growing a nail where it shouldn't be. So it's unsightly. It's just part of who I am and part of the struggle of trying to figure all this out. So who knows? I might get it all figured out before I'm dead and gone, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Melanie White, does anyone have any tips for sugar cravings? Okay. Sugar cravings, depending on what type of lifestyle you're looking into, ketovore type lifestyle, keto, or a carnivore type lifestyle. Now I'm doing carnivore. I'm focused mainly on carnivore right now. But a lot of things that help with sugar cravings is you find a healthier type snack. So let's go back into my weight loss journey to where I was starting keto. Now, I was using things like, if you can handle some sorts of dairy, like eggs, string cheese. Let's see, what else was there? Cucumbers work excellent to curb sugar cravings. And also dill pickles. Now, you have to read the ingredients. Whenever you're trying to find a solution for certain things, you're going to want to stay, focus on the inflammatory stuff, like seed oils, soy products, vegetable oils, corn oils, high fructose. If you can stay away from high fructose and you're doing it, congratulations, you're on your way, figuring at least a few steps out, because if I was ever going to allow any type of sugar, it would be natural type sugars from like fruits or vegetables. And that's debatable. And I did that for a period of time throughout this weight loss journey. And now I'm starting to wean away, just get it completely out, because I got other stuff going on, with my hands and with my feet. I got neuropathy, and then potentially like Raynaud's syndrome, or however you call that. So I'm trying to basically eliminate everything. I'm even tossing around the idea of doing a lion diet, which is all ruminant type animals. But another thing people have used for sugar cravings is they eat little bits. They take bites of cold butter, and it seems crazy. It absolutely, when I first started researching carnivore anything, and I saw people sitting there in these videos at times and they're munching on a stick of butter, I thought they were bat noodles crazy. I was like, okay, no, that's too much. That's ridiculous. And when you start getting extreme on any type of diet or eating, you see a lot of stuff that's like, wow, that's nuts. I mean, it's just like eating vegetables all the time and not eating meats anymore. To me, that doesn't make any sense, and it never did. I tried it. I did it for about 7 months, and I tried to be as strict as possible all the time, and it just didn't work for me. In fact, it made a lot of situations worse. I was losing muscle mass. I was becoming extremely irritable. I was hormonal when I was eating nothing but vegetables. I had constant irritable bowel syndrome. I had slow moving bowels. And the vegans out there that are listening right now, they're going to look at me like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He just didn't do it the right way. Well, maybe so, maybe not. Eating all meats seems to work, and it's sustainable for me, because I live in Alaska, way up high where the vegetables don't grow for 7 to 8 months out of the year unless you're doing it in a greenhouse. And the vegetables that are provided to us up here on the boat, because they all have to come up on the boat and or in a big truck, and they got so much freaking stuff on them. And I thought about doing a video on that. I was going to go out and buy some random fruits and vegetables, and we were going to, get a nice white bowl and soak them in some vinegar and some baking soda and show you just how filthy the vegetables are that come off the boat. Now, these are the vegetables and fruits that people would normally eat without washing them whatsoever. And I'm guilty of that too. But I had a, pretty close friend here in Anchorage, and she did that to some of the store-bought grapes she had. And the water was brown. And these are just grapes. And she said she had to do that 4 or 5 times just to get it to kind of run clear. And we have what is that? It says 200, Cyber Goose, 200. Are you kidding? Or what? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. DKK 200. I'm not sure. Thanks a lot for your awesome updates, John. I enjoy watching your journey. This is around $30, so get yourself a good ribeye. I know meat is expensive in Alaska. All right. Thank you, Cyber Goose. I appreciate that. I don't get these very often. I don't feel like I'm deserving of it. I just try to be honest and give people the details as to what I'm learning around the time frame that I'm actually learning it. Because being able to talk about this helps me remind myself what I'm doing. Like, hey, I'm doing this for my health, not just everybody else's health, but I'm sharing it at the same time, which is hopefully helping that 1% of people that might actually need help and get something started for themselves. I mean, that's awesome. But yes, thank you. And that actually did cover the bill for last night, because I did go out with my kid, my son, and my wife. We went out to Dave and Buster's last night, and I bought a ribeye, and it was almost exactly $30, and then plus the tip. I mean, I would have been better off if I cooked one at home. I probably should have done that, but it still would have cost pretty close to the same. So I wasn't too banged up about that. And the funny thing is it came with asparagus and what else was it? Mashed potatoes, and they were just soaked in butter. I didn't eat any of those. I specifically requested the waitress I said, please make sure those don't come on the plate, and get it in a to-go bag if you could, please. And I believe the wife tore into the asparagus. It was gone before we left the place last night. And then my son, tried some of the mashed potatoes later on, and I think the rest of the mashed potatoes went to the dog before the end of the night. So yeah, those are gone. But yeah, I don't believe in wasting food if it comes with the food, is what I'm saying. So if you're going to go to a restaurant and you're only going to eat meat, get the stuff to go. I mean, hand it to the homeless guy on the corner, because there's only about 20 of them out there. I mean, I could walk out this door right now and go right out to the sidewalk and hand off a bag of food to somebody that needs it, because that's what they do here in Alaska. Is there are just so many of them. And I feel sorry for them. They're all addicted to drugs, and they're going through some stuff. And all right, we got some improvement on the board. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, this is a live update of the subscriber count on the channel, and we're trying to reach 3,000 subscribers in this feed. And if we don't, that's okay. If we can get over 2,900, that'd still be an improvement. But like I said, if you want to learn more about losing weight, you like to bounce ideas back and forth, you need somebody in your corner that really cares, because I do. I care about everybody that comes to this channel, especially if they're being active, and I can recognize you from week to week, because I see a lot of these people, like Cyber Goose, for instance. We chit chat all the time, back and forth, and I do this with about maybe 100 to 200 different people. So it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, but it's worth it because some of the stuff they're talking about in this community, it's just it's helpful. It's helpful for me because a lot of times I'm learning something new, or I might be told something I forgot, and it's just being regurgitated, and it's super helpful because it's helping me keep on track. And if it wasn't for the actual community itself, I don't think I'd be as far along with any of this, or even consider doing the things I'm doing right now. Like last week I was doing priming, for instance, and I was just eating a ton of meat, a whole bunch of meat, pooping just fine, not a problem. That was a concern. That was a stressor when I started Carnivore, because when you go through a transition from the crappy American diet, you have issues with the gut. The gut doesn't like to respond to specific changes because it's so used to being fed, the same old stuff every day. And like Taco Bell, for instance, you don't eat Taco Bell every day, but when you go out to eat Taco Bell, it kind of just splishes right out the other end. It's crazy. But we kept eating it. Why? Why did we continue this? I don't know. Let's see. I subbed you. Thank you, Beans Memes. I appreciate you. That's awesome. Whoa, we're up over to 2,897 subs now. I appreciate you guys. And this has been a pretty beneficial live stream so far. Now, at some point, I am going to have to cut out here. I do have to go pick up my son. He's at work right now. He'll be getting out. Somebody move my clock. No, that clock is wrong. We had daylight savings. Does anybody else not like daylight savings? I think it's so ridiculous. It's a stressor on everybody, and we still haven't figured out how to get rid of it. Now, almost all the Alaskans I know, we hate it because the sun up here in Alaska, it never rises and sets anywhere close to the same time every time. And as soon as we start to get used to the sun rising or the sun setting, then we do this stupid daylight savings time, and then we're all out of kilter again. That's when people are late for work, or they show up an hour early for work, and it's just so annoying that we even do daylight savings in this country, anywhere. I understand the time zones, how they break down, but it's like, just get rid of the daylight savings, because it's only helping politicians and big business. It's not helping the little guys like us, try to, maintain stability in our lives. I mean, if you're making that much money already, daylight savings doesn't matter. I mean, it's only a convenience for them, not us. Because as you know, you can't just stretch the time the sun goes up or down. It's absolute ridiculousness. And in the summertime up here in Alaska, that sun just doesn't go down. It just seems to stay up. And one thing I found out while living here is that we are so solar powered. I mean, when it's dark and it's winter time, it's a time to rest and relax, and we kind of chill out. We're not working as hard. We're not outside as often, because it's cold, unless you're out doing physical activities in the cold. But as I got older, I stopped doing a lot of physical activities outside. So now I'm just kind of in chill out mode until springtime, and then I get outside and I'm busy. I can work a 12-hour day, and I still want to stay up till midnight, just because. I mean, it's pretty cool. We got sunshine up until midnight, and then it kind of gets a little dusky looking outside, but the sun doesn't really completely go down, which is super neat. And if you work up in Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, the sun really it kind of just goes around in a little circle like that. It's hard to explain unless you actually experience it. But if you're outside up there in the tundra, you're getting mauled by a bunch of freaking mosquitoes, because the mosquitoes are horrible up there. Let's see. Big Thirsty says hello. I want to say hello, Big Thirsty. Can you give some info of Alaska? Yeah, Zero, absolutely. I can talk about Alaska all day long. I'm here. I mean, I focus a lot on the horrible politics we have up here. All our politicians live in Juneau, Alaska, which is kind of like way down. We call it kind of like a panhandle type area, but that's where our politicians like to hide. That's where a lot of the bad decisions are made, and they don't really focus too much on the actual people. They focus on their pocketbooks and special interests and stuff like that, because the money tends to flow into certain pockets, and it's always been that way. And I noticed that pretty quickly after moving up here in 2004, that a lot of these projects were getting handed out to people that weren't, like construction type projects. They were getting handed out to people that weren't qualified. And many of those jobs I worked on, as a dump truck driver, equipment operator type stuff, delivering materials, and you literally just saw the entire project fail in front of you, and millions of dollars went into some of those projects. And it's like, why did you let this guy do this project? Because even the truck drivers like me that don't know nothing about nothing could see that the project wasn't going to work, with what they were doing, because we've been around the block a time or two. We've seen things work and we've seen things fail, but nobody listens to us. I mean, we had a port expansion process. I think that guy got paid about $4 million for the process, just a bunch of wasted materials. Nothing ever came of it because he failed miserably. And now I don't know where he is. He disappeared. But, all right, let's see. We're almost 2,900 subs. We're gaining, guys. Like I said, this is just basic live update as to the sub count. So if you were to subscribe right now, that would go up or down within about 6 days. For me, on my end, it's about 6 seconds. I sat there on another account and I counted how many seconds from when I hit the button to when the machine actually went up or down. So I think it went down quicker, like 3 seconds, when I unsubscribed to my own channel, and then I resubscribed, and it took about 6 seconds to go back up. I thought that was kind of interesting. But all right, that's where we're sitting right now. We're at 2,898 subs. And our goal today is to try to get up to over 3,000, or at least this week, we're trying to get up over that much. Now, if you're a carnivore, please subscribe to the channel, help support other carnivores. This is what we're trying to do here. That's my main focus, my main topics, is I talk about health, nutrition, weight loss, how to lose weight with little to no exercise was how I got started on the internet, because that's literally how I lost over 100 pounds. It was little to no exercise. I lost 100 pounds. That's amazing. Who doesn't want to do that? I figured out, that using ketogenic type principles, fasting principles, moving your feeding windows around, which is basically your meal. So you got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Those are the only 3 meals anybody should be focused on. The snacks in between can really go away. And if you're doing a carnivore type lifestyle, the snacking really goes away. And you don't even think about going into a convenience store unless you have to go in there to pay for your gas. There's nothing in a convenience store to buy. I mean, even the beef jerky items typically aren't that healthy for us. So we don't even buy our beef snacks there. We buy them somewhere else, or we make them at home because it's just that much better. There's nothing in there to drink. The water there is usually acidic type water that they sell, Smart Water, Dasani, all that stuff. If you were to do a pH test on it, that water would turn like yellow. I mean, who wants to drink yellow water? But yeah, it's crazy. None of the drinks. And then when I first got started losing weight, I already had the sugary drinks mainly out of my system. Now I was drinking some energy drinks once in a while, but as far as the soda, like Coca-Cola, the traditional fountain sodas you'd find at any fast food place, even Subway, what a fail. They don't have any drink options at a Subway. And they used to claim that was a pretty healthy option, is going to Subway. And it's better. It's better, if you're just there to eat the sandwich, it's not a bad idea. But, we were sold the crazy idea that sun chips were a good thing. No, it's not a good idea. Inflammation. The sun chips actually, promote inflammation, water retention in your legs and stuff like that. But we think we're sold that they're full of grains and healthy stuff. Well, it's not the right healthy stuff that you want. And it took me a while to wrap my mind around that. And then when it came to the drink options, I mean, like iced tea shouldn't be as bad as it is. I mean, if you're going to get an iced tea or a lemonade, now if they were to make these drinks, with all natural sugar, without the high fructose corn syrup, it would be light years ahead of the crap that they're trying to push out of these machines right now, because they're not there to sell you healthy quality products. When you go to a fountain machine, they're there to make, I mean, they're literally giving you pennies worth of drink, and they're making dollars. So we're just handing over our money. We're not even thinking it's that. We're thinking that, we get this big, huge, giant soda. What a great deal. But we're not thinking about the repercussions of what it's doing to us, in the long run. It's just absolutely nonsense and crazy. But yeah, there's nothing there, like even at a Subway in the fountain, that's healthy. The water is questionable, especially if you're in a city and you're getting, chlorinated water. It might be run through a filter, it might not. Who's to trust it? Who knows when the filter was changed the last time? So yeah, I question a lot of things when I go out, and I don't go out to eat very often anymore. Oh wow, hey, somebody moved the thingy. I'm going to show you guys. Here we go. All right, I'm pretty excited about this because I mean we're on a mission to try to get over 3,000 subs. Probably not going to happen in this live stream. I'm not going to be too upset about it. But like I said early on, if you guys are interested in losing weight, health related topics, absolutely, please subscribe. I do these live streams rather randomly at times. They are available to watch later on. Sometimes they're interesting, sometimes they might not be. But like I say, my content's pretty sporadic. It's pretty random. I do a weekly weight loss update every week to share with everybody, hey, how my week went, how I did it this week, because I'm constantly evolving weight loss strategies, health strategies. I'm also trying to sort out a few personal aspects. Okay, somebody hit that subscribe button so we can even out that number. Don't you guys feel weird with an odd number sitting on the screen? I know I do. Let's see. Eunice Henderson, I am on the computer, and it does have the like button. There's also a live chat and not just a video. It will be a video later. So what happens is we do these live streams like this, and then oh my goodness, thank you, Lord. That makes me feel so much better. I just don't like odd numbers. I like that number there. That's perfect. That makes my day. You guys made me smile, by the way. That's great. But yes, this does upload as a live video later on, so it can be found later after the fact. I hit subscribe, Plaz. Okay, Plaz the Pringle. Plaz the Pringle. That's interesting. You guys get some really interesting handles. I think that's super cool. All right, there we go. Back the other way. Okay, where are we at? We're talking about getting healthy again and not having to do a whole lot. I mean, isn't that something? Because when I started losing weight, I had no idea that it was so simple to actually lose weight. It was so simple to get healthy again. It was just, it blew my mind because we were just taught for so many years, you have to do this, you have to do that. If you have to exercise, that's the furthest thing from the truth. And I'm never going to say not exercising is a good idea, because the more exercise you get, the longer you're going to live, the healthier you're going to be, the more mobility you're going to have. Because even though I lost over 100 pounds with little to no exercise, I still lack a lot of mobility. I still lack a lot of flexibility. So I've been, tossing around the idea of potentially doing some yoga type stuff. I did, under recommendation of several YouTube channels in the carnivore community, said these vibration plates that you stand on, and they really work. Okay, I bought one. I plan on doing a video. I might get that started because it's been about a week since I had the product. Now, these vibration plates for people like me with neuropathy. So neuropathy is I'm losing sensation in my feet. I cannot spread my toes, for instance. But since I started using that plate over a week ago, I have a little bit more, because I couldn't do this with my toes a week ago. And I was freaking out about it. I was like just emailing people and probably being annoying on their email list. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I got to figure this out. I don't want this to turn into something, worse, because severe neuropathy, severe Raynaud's syndrome, and neuropathy in the hands as well tends to lead to a wonderful thing called amputation, which is typically something that diabetes triggers that. And the doctor and I talked about that, and it wasn't triggered by diabetes, because we were, looking over my blood sugar now and my blood sugar back then, and the numbers weren't high. They were never high. They were never, doing the whole roller coaster thing. And we did the fasted blood sugar, and we did the, blood sugar at different times, doing different things as well. And it was still looking pretty good. I can't complain about the blood sugar aspects of all of this. What time it got? I got to make sure I get my kid here. So I got about another half an hour to talk about this stuff. And hopefully I'm not boring the... Ooh, you got another subscriber there. We're at 2901. Thank you very much. I appreciate you subscribing. Let's see. This randomly came up on my recommended, so I subbed, but now I must go. All right. Well, I thank you for coming along, and I thank you for subscribing. Let's see. Slow and steady, brother. JG says, slow and steady, brother. Thank you. I agree with that. Um, Now, when I first started doing all this weight loss and I started just pounding the weight off, I mean, it was coming off fast. So if you're morbidly obese, over 350 pounds, chances are, if you're eating the standard American yuck gut type diet, chances are you are retaining water. You're retaining so many gallons of water, you don't even realize it. If you have any pain in your feet, numbness, and stuff like that, a lot of that is water retention. And doing fasting helps eliminate the water retention pretty quickly. I had to go out and buy special pillows to lift my legs up while I was laying down. I had to go out and buy special shoes. I had to buy special socks. What do they call those? Compression socks. I lost weight so quickly that I got plantar fasciitis in my feet because my feet were so used to being pressed down hard that when I lost, 100 pounds in 15 weeks, my feet are like, what's going on? So the tendons couldn't keep up with the adjustments. Now, all the back pain that I was suffering from, because I randomly feel like my back was thrown out, and it didn't matter if I was sitting in a chair, if I was sitting in a truck, for instance, or if I was laying in bed. I was having back issues. All that's gone. I have zero back issues now. It just all went away. It didn't go away with any exercise. But exercise would be a great idea. I'm going to put that out there. Got some new comments coming in. Take the Xmas lights down, for Christ's sakes. Actually, we use those kind of like night lights here when it gets dark, so we just kind of leave them on. Let's see. Garden says, Big Man Alaska, have you considered long walks? It literally has changed my life. I do 12 miles a day, and it's incredible. It helps a lot. Not sure if you have 90 minutes out of the day, though. I need to put that in there. And that was from Garden. I appreciate you for jumping in. Absolutely. I need to up my walking. I mean, I could be out walking right now, but we're trying to do this here. And so later on in the day, I might actually go for a walk because I'm fasting now. I started fasting about 9:30 this morning, and I'm planning on continuing this fast all the way through Saturday morning. That's when I do my weigh-ins. So we're going to get weighed in on Saturday morning. That's when I typically start filming on the weekends. My weekly weight loss update. I discuss what I'm doing through the week, what happened. Did I keep fasting or did I fall off my fast? Did I accidentally just walk in the fridge and eat something and ruin my fast? That could happen. And sometimes these things happen. When you plan a fast, you need to really just make a plan and stick to it. And remember, like, hey, you're fasting. You can't just, somebody hands you something, you can't just have it. Even if it's on the healthy plane, you're just trying to get through a fast and you're trying to do it for a specific reason. And basically what happened to me, and the reason I'm doing this fast, is I quit smoking during this weight loss journey. So I quit nicotine. I was back and forth between smoking traditional cigarettes and vaping products. And I had to balance out, what I was going to do. And I thought, oh, it'd be a great idea. I'm just going to quit nicotine. And I was using the same principles I would use for losing weight to quit nicotine. Now, this would have worked, except for I think I screwed up the timing of it all. Is I should have waited until I was closer to my goal weight, which is around 235 pounds. And that was just a made up weight I came up with because I kind of felt good at 235 pounds. I haven't been that weight in over 20 years. I think it's been it's probably been about 20 years. I've been pretty heavy for too long, but we're trying to slowly get back down there. I'm hoping to. I was hoping to be there before summer, because I was progressively just losing weight, and then I was worried about sustainability, because forever fasting all the time, isn't always the best strategy to losing weight. It's a good way to get the water weight off and get things working correctly in the gut, get your mind right, because that's super important. If you don't fast at all, you're just constantly being bombarded with a bunch of chemicals and nonsense and seed oils, and the sugars affect your brain in funny ways. And that's crazy. But all right, we're gonna go unplug those lights because they are kind of bright back there, aren't they? It doesn't look too bad when all the lights are off in the house. And I normally don't film here at my computer, but since my computer has the update for the live stream as to how many subscribers we gain. Now these live streams do tend to promote subscriptions to the channel, so that's another reason why I like doing them. And I like to be able to interact with everybody that comes in, wants to comment here in the live stream. So it says I do push-ups every day, doing 200 a day. JG, that is impressive. That's a lot of push-ups a day. Now I was trying to do a push-up challenge. I believe that was in January. Yeah, I think that was going on in January. I didn't do too well because my knees were hurting, and I was doing these off my knees, and it's still really hard right now because I'm still pretty heavy. But all right, what you guys are looking at right now on the screen. Oh, thank you very much. You better chime in and say who that was, because I want to thank you personally and give you a shout out here, because I do try to include anybody that does anything on the channel with their name, because this live stream will be posted later, and I like to be able to. All right, thank you, Star One Fire. I appreciate you. Yeah, you didn't have to correct that. I understood what you were saying there, but thank you. But yeah, anybody that subscribes here, anybody that wants to, I sometimes miss some of the questions that come in here, and I try to answer everybody as quick as possible. There we go. Trying to get that light out of there. Hey, I can see the clock from here, so I don't have to keep turning around. That's kind of a benefit there. But I will have to get going in about another 15 minutes. Go pick my kiddo up, because unfortunately he was late to work. I didn't know what time today he was going to start work. And somebody else just subbed, and I want to thank you. And we talk about weight loss here. We talk about being morbidly obese and the struggles to getting healthier, because there's a lot of people that are just sitting there on their phone right now. Maybe it's you on the other end of the screen. We just need to figure it out. A lot of us have kind of figured it out together, and this is the type of information we like to share with others, is that it doesn't have to be impossible. Let's see, Lorraine 24, I was 2901. Thank you. I appreciate you, Lorraine. That's extremely helpful, and I hope you find any information on this channel somewhat useful, or at least entertaining. I try to keep it both. I try to be entertaining and somewhat useful in the community, because I'm seriously just an average guy. I'm not paid to do this stuff. I make a little bit of money from the YouTube ads and stuff like that. I just totally realistic about my expectations, and I try to just share the experience. All right, Starfire, I was 2902. Again, thank you. You said no. No, I was I'm getting confused now. These comments are coming in a little weird on my end. But currently right now we are at 2,903 subscribers. And I just wanted to thank everybody that jumped in recently. I will have an update video. I will be doing the review on the vibration plate this week. So I might start recording that tomorrow, because it's a pretty amazing product. So the first day that I had that vibration plate, I stood on it, and I was 315 pounds when I started using it. And I don't believe the plate has actually helped me lose any weight, except for the fact it has been able to increase my mobility, because immediately it made me want to go out for a walk. So the product came in, I believe, last Tuesday. I got it. I was going to do an unboxing video, but I was super excited about getting it out like a little kid. I was like, oh, I don't care about the unboxing video. And I shoot myself in the foot, because it's just wasted effort to make content. I should have done it. I should have recorded it. But yeah, I was like a little teenager, and I'm not afraid to look stupid on camera, so I really should have recorded it. I do this a lot. Just like the beef stew I made the other day, I should have recorded that too. That was a process. Wow. But it's a pain in the butt to work with a camera, and your hands are all messy. And but anyhow, so I got that vibration plate out, and I got on it, and I spent about 15 minutes on it, and I was messing around with all the settings. It was later in the day, so it was about the time my wife was coming home, and I needed to go to Costco. I wanted to go to the Costco Business Center here in Anchorage and do a meat haul, a carnivore meat haul, grab a whole bunch of meats, and I filled up the freezer. We bought a bunch of bulk meats, But here's the thing: is normally at the end of the day, I would never wanted to go out and do anything. I have been more active in the last week since I got that plate than I have been in the previous all the weeks of weight loss that I've been doing. So I mean, this vibration plate really helps. I mean, it helps a lot. My wife's got on it. My son's used it. I let my little girls get on it just to try it out. I wouldn't recommend young kids getting on it because it jostles you around quite a bit. And those young bodies, you don't want to damage them. And if you're not used to stuff like that, then it's really important not to just, bang the heck out of your joints. Because if you got, like a replaced knee or knee injuries or hip injuries, it might not be the best option for you because it creates a lot of motion. But yeah, I wanted to do a full review on that and hopefully get that out. Now, another thing we did apply for a couple days ago for this channel is an Amazon affiliate link. So at some point you might see that pop up. But we did go out and get the P.O. box set up for anybody that wants to check out the channel, potentially mail us a postcard, because I would love a postcard from all over the world. I mean, I don't care what country you're from. Send me a postcard. Tell me a little bit about your situation, if it's health related or you just want to say hello. I mean, absolutely, send us a postcard. Me and my dad, we used to collect postcards years ago, and it was so much fun. And it all started around his CB radio, because he was using, something called the skip, which is basically your signal skips off the atmosphere and it comes down in some faraway place on the other side of the world. And we had a lot of friends in Europe, and they called them QSL cards, but they were basically postcards. And something they would do is, like say if we got one from somewhere in Germany, for instance, we would send them a postcard, and then they would send us a postcard, but we would tape, like a penny or something to it, or sometimes we'd put it in an envelope and send them a couple of US coins, and they'd send us a couple of coins from Germany. So my father and I had this pretty elaborate coin collection of coins from all over the world. Not of value. I mean, they could have been, but I mean, we didn't know the difference. But it was just fun to see all the different currencies from around the world. And as you know, the coins, at some point, I believe the coins are going to go away. So you might want to hold on to what you can get. Let's see, Carnivore Pizza. Forever grateful. Name a car for a edit. Name a car. I got a Jeep Wrangler. I'm not sure what kind of car you're talking about. But let's see. Carnivore Pizza. I did a video on a basic carnivore pizza recipe, and I'm thinking of doing another video on a little bit healthier version, because it was kind of just to be a keto type pizza. It was made with canned chicken that I bought at Walmart. I had some pizza sauce, mozzarella cheese on top of it. I just added a couple of eggs to the chicken and some Parmesan. The fresher the Parmesan cheese, the better. And you just add that into the crust, and then you make your crust. And it turned out absolutely bomb. I was so happy with it. And the crust was durable too. You could pick up the pizza slice. And that video is on the channel if anybody did want to check out the Carnivore Pizza. And I will be reintroducing a healthier version at some point. It's just I need to find the ingredients and find time. And also I'm fasting this week, so I really don't want to torture myself by trying to make a pizza right in the middle of this. Now, one thing I have overcome in this entire weight loss journey is I was a serious pizza addict. Now, here the other day, I ordered Papa John's pizza for the family. Everybody was able to get some pizza. Now, what I did for myself is I just ordered like 34 of the chicken wings. That's all I had. And when I opened the box for the pizza, you know how you get that waft of the smell of the pizza, the cheese and the greases and stuff like that, and whatever seasonings. I was almost repulsed by the smell. I was like, that doesn't even smell good. That smells like an upset tummy to me at this point. And normally I would have been all in on that pizza. So, I mean, that's an amazing victory there. They also went out to a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, and they came back with a whole cheese pizza. Now, before I started losing weight, I would have eaten whatever pizza they brought home. And I would have had no problem with it. I would have ate, it didn't matter if it was 3/4 or a whole pizza. I would have ate the whole thing. I would have just sat down and ate it. I was a gluttonous pig. And that's also part of my problem. even doing carnivore, is that I eat everything. Like if you give me a plate full of meat, I'll eat whatever's on that plate. No problem. Nope, doesn't matter. I'll be full and I won't care. I'll keep eating it until it's gone. And that's something I've been trying to deal with and trying to get under control, because there's a lot of us out there that are like that. And some of it stems from our childhood of you need to eat everything on your plate. And that used to screw us up, especially for us that used to go to buffets like truck drivers. We used to hit up buffets all the time, and we'd fill up the plate, and then we'd feel bad if we left something on the plate. So we'd just eat a couple more bites of something we didn't like. Well, that's just empty calories we don't need. That's just like buying a fancy, funny colored looking drink while you're out to eat too. It's just empty calories. So, once I get that figured out, it's going to be a whole lot easier. This is also why when I went out and got steak the other night at Dave and Buster's, I wanted to make sure the steak was the only thing on the plate, because in my mind it's like it's okay. I'm just eating the steak and I'm eating everything on my plate, so it still satisfies the whole aspect of eat everything on your plate. And I got the other items, the asparagus and the mashed potatoes in a to-go bag. I didn't even have to look at them, so it worked. I mean, that little aspect worked. Onyx Ithil. I don't know how to pronounce that. Onyx. But you're waving high. I'm going to wave high back. Currently, we are at, show you guys where we're at on the subscriber count today. We are at 2903, and I'm happy with that today. That's amazing. We were like 28 something earlier, and we gained quite a few during this live stream. I was trying to get up over 3,000 subscribers before we got out of here, but I'm tickled pink. Well, like I said before, I want honest subscribers that are interested in talking about health, weight loss, nutrition. People that are trying to struggle their way down from being morbidly obese, potentially having diabetes or something like that. People that just need a little bit of help or inspiration to get something started, because this didn't take a lot. This wasn't impossible. Anybody can do this. Anybody can lose weight. It's just we were taught all the wrong things to keep us from losing weight and to also keep us from being healthy for ourselves. And this is why the carnivore community just works so well, because it's surrounded by people, millions of people doing similar things to what I'm doing. And we're all just out there trying to help one another, help themselves, because I can't hold anybody's hand and be like, yeah, you need to do this. I can tell you what I did, and that's about all I can do. When it comes to medical type issues, yeah, you're still going to have to get the doctors involved in some things. I still do, to figure out some things. Like I got some testing going on. Blood work just happened. I haven't gotten the results back. Even my sleep study results haven't come back yet. So that appointment is still up and coming. I'm hoping some of that stuff might be resolved this week, and we'll just see where we're going from there. And we got 22 people in the stream. If you could just help us out, at least, if you're not hitting the subscribe button, hit the like for the live stream. That does help us push the streams around a little bit, and also helps get a little bit more awareness out there. That there's people like us out there that are just, willing to help, willing to talk about the difficult conversations at times, because a lot of times I talk about poop. I mean, because pooping, everybody poops, and we all have issues with it at times, and figuring out the whys and the what in the world's going on. Something I did talk about in a private message with one of the subscribers that I believe, I can't remember if it was in an email or on Messenger, whatever. Could have been any which way. We had a conversation a little bit about something. It was a phone call. Yeah, I reached out to somebody else. It was a YouTube channel, and we had a conversation about pooping. And so early on in the carnivore journey, and I was always doing a 90-10 eating principle up until recently. I was eating 90% meats and fats, 10% I love my life. And that 10% could have been whatever, didn't matter. But I started turning that 10% into fruits. So if I was having a carb craving, I was going towards a fruit, like in the fruit basket, like an orange, a banana, an apple. Well, one day I got into the fruits a little too heavy. And this was early on. This was before just recently when it happened again for a second time. I noticed my poops were starting to turn white. And so I started researching why my poops were becoming white. I reached out to several friends that were in the community, one close friend here in Alaska, and we talked about it and the potentials of it could be something serious or not. So that was another little bitty stressor because if your poops are turning white or really pale in color, it could be something internal going on there. You could have an internal infection, and I didn't believe that was the case. So, and I told him, I said, if it goes on for more than 3 days where it doesn't return back to normal, then I'm going to be concerned and go get help, get checked out, see what's going on. But to avoid unnecessary trips to the doctor and stuff like that, I decided, okay, I'll just do this for 3 or 4 days. Everything turned right back to normal. It's just normal color. And then, so I wanted to wait a couple more weeks. And then I got into the fruits really, really heavy again. I got into watermelon. I got into bananas. I got into apples, strawberries, blueberries. It was heavy into the fruit for a couple of days. And then I noticed almost the next day, the poop changed to another light color. And this conversation I had with this lady down in Colorado, I was like, yeah. I said, this is the second time I recreated the same thing for a second time. And I discussed a little bit about the, possibilities. It could be something worse. But, like, again, I said, well, if in another 2 or 3 days, if it doesn't improve, then yeah, I'm going to go get checked. But the only time I've ever had poop that looks kind of white while doing carnivore type eating, because like I said, I'm 90% meats and fats. And then I was getting into the fruits. Now the fruits would throw me off. It would slow down. It would stall my weight loss, even though it's a healthier option than getting into the pantry, and eating like a nut or butter, getting into cookies or cake. The fruit was definitely throwing off something, and it was throwing signals by what comes out the other end in my poop. So it was a lighter color. And I was like, okay. So once that happened, I was like, all right, we're just going to start working on priming. And priming is something I don't know everything about it. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I drive a big truck, and I'm stumbling through the whole aspects of some of this carnivore stuff and just trying to find the benefits and discuss them as I go. But priming, I've felt great the entire week. My poops aren't white anymore. They're perfectly normal. Everything's working great down there. I mean, good stuff. Now, when I was eating a lot of fruits, my wife was complaining about my breath. So my breath was definitely more apparent to her. And I was, trying to rub it off, because I still vape. So once in a while I will use a vaping product. And sometimes the products inside the vape will give you a flavor in your mouth. But I was trying to play it off as like I was using too much garlic or something like that, which I was. I was using a lot of garlic on my meat products. But I don't think that was it. I think that was part of the problem. So the actual problem itself, I'm guessing, was all the fruits and sugars I was having. And it was just throwing me completely out of whack. Time check. Pick up daughter. Son. Picking up my son. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I better get going here. And okay, so let's finish off the stream here. And like I said, we were doing a live stream, kind of just basically trying to promote the channel and maybe get to know a few extra people here and talk about a little weight loss and what I've been going through. I've been doing the carnivore diet. So we got a subscriber count of 2903. We were shooting for 3,000 in this live stream, but that's okay. I mean, I was super happy to see 2,900 pop up. And that's just wonderful. I mean, I appreciate it, especially if you're actually into hopefully losing weight without a whole lot of problems, because man, I could name you 500 different ways of losing weight that doesn't work, because I've done it. If there's a way to screw it up, that's me. I'm your guy. So far with the carnivore diet, it just seems to work. And the best part about it is if I want to eat too much or eat everything, and as long as I eat meats and fats, butter, sometimes dairy, I've slowed way down on the cheese. This week I've eliminated cheese, and I'm doing fasting for the rest of the week. So there's nothing there. It's just going to be my morning vitamins, my electrolytes, and water. That's what I'm going to be doing for the next, I think today is Tuesday. So the next 3 or 4 days until Saturday when I weigh in. And then when I break my fast on the weekend and I start recording this weekend, I'm probably going to break my fast with those pickled eggs. I did a video on pickled eggs not too long ago. and I'm really looking forward to those. So they'll have been in the brine for over 7 days, and I'm just, yeah, I love pickled eggs. I love hard boiled eggs and stuff like that. Thanks a lot, John. See you in the next one, Cyber Goose. I want to thank you. I want to thank you again for the super chat. That was very thoughtful. Like I said, we don't get many of those, but overall, guys, yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining the stream, and we'll do this again sometime. Like I said, it's just random, and whoever pops in, I always like to see familiar faces in here. You guys have been super reliable and jumping in the chat as soon as you recognize me, and that's just helpful to keep the stream going. And you're asking random questions to keep everything going, and it's nice. And I just got a little surprise here before I get out of here, but yep, the stream count went up to 2904. And I want to thank that person before I jump out of here. I do appreciate all the new subscribers, especially the ones that are active and the ones that want to come back and comment in the videos. I mean, I don't expect anybody to sit there and watch through a video they're not interested in. But if this is stuff that you're interested in, or you watch it up to a certain point and you find something, that you want to talk about or express your experience, absolutely, I want to hear about it. I mean, this is how I grow. This is how I learn. This is how I learned how to improve my own health is through the community, because I didn't get here without the carnivore community. I got here specifically because of the carnivore community, and I didn't even know they were following me, when I started losing weight, because I gained all these subscribers all at once, and then there was a whole bunch of people talking about carnivore stuff, and I was like, because I didn't think carnivore was going to be a good idea. I mean, I didn't think it was a good idea for anybody, because I tried it years ago. I epically failed. But I find out that when you fail these things, it's usually because you're not doing the diet. It's because you just say you're doing the diet. Because I could just say, hey, I'm doing the carnivore diet, and just totally shut the camera off and not do it. But no, I'm doing this. This stuff works. And I wouldn't be out here talking about it if it didn't work. Because, yeah, I'm not making any money, just sharing my experience. What little bitty money we do make, it could buy me a cup of coffee. So that's just how it works. Let's see, what do we got here? I don't know what that says there. That's different. El Pana Bobo. Well, I just want to thank you for dropping in. Yep, we're going to cut the stream. We got 2,904 for the subscriber count. Yeah, we're a little shy. Maybe next week we'll get over 3,000. But like I say, the channel's growing. I can't expect everybody to like what I'm talking about, because most people don't want to talk about their own health, because especially if they're young, they just don't have that connection to their own health until, like I say, they get a diagnosis. Kind of like how I got started on my weight loss journey. If you don't get a diagnosis, if you're not told you're going to die, if you're not thinking that you're going to die or want to die, you typically don't get started. And that's just how things work. So again, I hope to see you guys in the next one. And I appreciate everybody's time and keeping the comments active, and the new subscribers. Absolutely. Thank you. And hello. All right, JG, before I get out of here, have a great night, brother. Staying strong. All right. Thank you, JG. I appreciate you showing up. And hopefully I'll get to talk to you again sometime. Let me know something about you and your experience with whatever you're doing. All right, guys. Thank you. And now I got to fumble with these buttons to get out of here. I hit the button and hit another button. God bless everybody.